So in this first one, I would add 5. That gives me then 2x squared equals 36. Then I would divide both sides by 2. That would give me x squared equals 18. Then I would take the square root of both sides, and that would give me x equals plus or minus 3 square roots of 2. Questions on that one?
Oh, why would you get 3 to the square root of 2?
Because if you left it as a square root of 18, it's not simplified. Because the squared term is not isolated. So because I want to get this so that I have the squared. If I take the square root up here one step earlier, then I've got the square root of 2x squared, right? Which is x times the square root of 2 equals 6. Then I would have to divide by the square root of 2 on both sides, and they'd still end up in the same spot. But easier to just isolate the squared term. Over here, I would divide by 2 first. So then that gives me x minus 1 cubed equals 8. And then I would cube root both sides. So then that leaves me with x minus 1 equals 2. No plus or minus there because it's an odd root. Then I would add 1. And so I would get x equals 3. I only got to add that plus or minus if it's an even root. Okay. Did you cube it out? Okay. That one's going to be hard because you're going to have to, uncube it then.
I got this.
All right. You're all over that. I trust you.
I'll get back to you in about like 10 minutes.
Okay, fantastic. What I would like you to do now is I would like you to turn to page 723 in your textbook.
Yeah, I get that.
And on page 723, there are 4 different people, Franco, Teresa, Donnell, and Martinez, all solved the exact same problem, but in 4 different ways. What I would like you to do now is I would like you to look over those ways and jot down some notes as to what they did in each of their methods. Okay? So see what they did. They each did it a couple of different ways and see if their math is good or not. Okay? I'll give you 5-10 minutes to do that. So, of the 4, who do you like best? Martinez? Okay, all right. So Teresa and Franco basically did the exact same thing, right? If you look at it, they both, well, what'd they do? They both squared both sides, right? Okay, so they both squared both sides, and when you square the right side, you get 625. That's the easy one, stitch. Okay, when you square the left side, it gets a little funky. Okay, but they did that math right. Okay. Then what did they do? They did something here and here. What'd they do there? Got it equal to 0. Yeah? Okay. And then it looks like they factored. Yep. Okay. So they got it down into the same factored form. Yes? Then what did they do? How? How do you solve a factored equation? They set each factor equal to 0 and then solved each factor, right? Okay. So when Franco did it, Franco got 2 answers. When Teresa did it, Teresa only got 1 answer. What did Teresa do that Franco didn't? She checked her answer. Okay? So she checked her answer. And then, I think just Stitch. Oh, and Lily. Okay? So Teresa checked, and what happened to 1,024 divided by 9? What happened to it? What? So then what happens to it? It's not a solution. It's called an extraneous solution. It's a solution that when we put it back in, it doesn't work out. Okay? So that one got kicked out. Franco forgot to check it, so Franco got 2 answers. Teresa checked it. She got 1 answer of 36. Okay? Now, Donnell, we're saving Martiez for last because that was one that you guys liked. Donnell got 206. Okay? What did Donnell do?
She only, like, when she squared both of them.
Yep.
Like, she just, like, took away the radical. She didn't, like, actually square it.
She didn't actually square it. So her problem is right here. Okay? This does not go to that. Okay? But then she continued on. She made one little mistake, continued on, got an answer. Now, she got an answer. What should have she done? She should have checked it. Okay? But she didn't. She just said, nope, that's it. I did my math right. I'm not going to check it. I know I'm right. Right? Now, that's good. Okay? If you're confident in your math. But would I be necessarily confident in that math? No. But I don't know Donnell's backstory. So she might have been. This is how it's going to be. Okay? Never know, but not good. Okay? So, let's look at Martiez. Okay? What did Martiez do? He subtracted the 7 first, then divided by 3. So he did what I like to call, he isolated the radical. Okay? So he isolated the radical, and then what? Squared both sides to get rid of the radical, and got 36. More importantly, what did he do? He checked it, too. Okay? More importantly, he checked it. Now, Martiez used the same technique that we did in the warm-ups. Okay? Franco and Teresa did your technique. Okay? Yeah. Okay, where they did all the math and didn't do the shortcut way. Okay? Which is fine. They still get, as long as you follow Teresa's and you actually check it, you'll still get to the end result.
Yeah, definitely regret doing that.
Hey, it happens. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to make that mistake in order to realize there must be an easier way.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, I looked at the problem, I was like,
So, on page 724, which I believe is the next way, down at the bottom of question number 3, we're going to do A, B, and C. Well, you'll do C. So what I want you to do now is I want you to do A, B, and C on the bottom of 724. All right, talk to me about the first one, part A. What do you want to do first? Square both sides? Okay, so that gives me what? 2x equals 9. And then what? Divide both sides by 2. Giving me x equals 9 halves. Okay, then what should I do? Check it. Plug it back in and check it. So 2 times 9 halves is 2 times 9 halves is 9. Okay, and I need to take the square root of 9, and that is 3. And is 3 equal to 3? Yeah, so we checked it out. It works out well. Okay. Part B. Cube both sides. Left side becomes right side becomes then what? Add 3 becomes 2x equals 11. Divide both sides by 2. So x then equals 11 halves. Okay. 11 halves times 2 is 11. 11 minus 3 is 8. And the cube root of 8 is 2. 2 is equal to 2. Okay. Later on tomorrow we'll get into those more extraneous solution type ones. Okay. C, what would you do in C first? Divide both sides by 4. Which then gives me the square root of x minus 6 equals 2. Then what? Square both sides. That gives me x minus 6 equals 4. Then add 6. X equals 10. 10 minus 6. Square root of 4 times 4. 2 times 4 is 8 equal to 8. Kidding. Okay. Yeah, buddy? Get in the habit. Notice how our checks, did they take very long? But now do we know that we're 100% in those 3 problems? Okay. Get in that habit of checking your work, making sure that you get it done. Okay?